and nothing but the truth.
You want answers? You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth! Last night...
And welcome to the program. It is a Monday night edition of You Have Power Radio. I will be your host, Justin Clark, protecting you, the consumer, from the evils of corporate America. Together, you and I, we will bully the bullies, and the phone lines are open for your calls at 321-339-1055. You can also download the Florida Man Radio app where you can watch the program at You Have Power Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platforms. So go ahead and dial up the phones. Again, 321-339-1055. But first, it is the team to my right doing hour number 5 of Radio Today. It is the Orlando radio legend, Mick Dolan. Mick, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Good.
You were out this weekend, I saw, at an event.
On the prowl.
You were like Mr. Event Guy. You're out a lot, right?
I am.
Do you enjoy being out and like shaking hands, or is it like a job?
I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. No, for sure. I love it.
Pushing the buttons.
You gotta press the flesh. You know?
Making sure we are on the air. My good friend EC had the weekend off. What's up, EC?
Yes, I did. It was a good time.
Did you enjoy having the entire weekend to yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
I thought so. 321-339-1055.
And now it's time for the opening statement. This should be interesting.
Is it ever a good idea to invest your hard-earned money in a timeshare? Mick, have you ever bought a timeshare?
No.
Ever?
No.
I just don't even understand how they continue to suck us in, taking our money, buying these timeshares. So is it ever a good idea? And then if you have bought one and you want to get out of it, how do you do that? Because it might not be that easy.
It's kind of ironclad, wouldn't you say?
It's one of these things where, I see sometimes people filing bankruptcy just to get rid of their timeshares. Look, there's no doubt that timeshare is a rip-off machine most of the time, okay?
Right.
I have never had someone come into my office and say, wow.
Gee, I got a great deal on that timeshare.
I love using that week down in New Smyrna Beach. I use it every year. The week after Thanksgiving, every year.
Right.
That's not something that happens very often.
I don't hear that.
Do you have timeshare issues? Please tell me about them. 321-339-1055. But the man who gets you out of your timeshare issues is here. Joining me today, his name is Mark Anderson, the GM over at Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. Mark, welcome to the show. How are you? Good to see you again.
I am fantastic.
But before we start talking about how to get rid of your timeshares, Mark was attacked this weekend.
What?
It was an attack job. He was pinched.
Yeah.
He was chased.
Yeah.
He was chased all through the parking lot of a timeshare, actually.
What? Yeah. Oh, my God.
By
really?
The evil Crawfish.
It was
Dude,
quite large.
I saw his social media this weekend. He was attacked by crawfish. Let's get this right out of it. I didn't know that we had crawfish in Florida. Did you know we have crawfish here? I thought this was only Louisiana.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
You got to follow Mark on social media. How do I find you on social media? Facebook, search for Mark Anderson, I guess, right?
Search for Mark Anderson, yeah.
I have never seen such a thing, Mick.
What?
These
wait a minute.
they look like scorpions to me.
Really?
What are these things? They're crawfish?
Yeah, they were going across the parking lot in the walkways.
Where was this?
This was out near John Young and Sand Lake. There's a big retention.
Yeah, this is like right down in Orlando, Mick.
So how big do you think they were? Like cats?
5 to 7 inches.
It was huge.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show you one of these in a minute.
Okay, that's pretty big.
So,
were they good eating? Is the question.
Have you ever seen crawfish before, or was this the first time you've ever really seen one in a parking lot of a hotel?
No, I've never seen them out like that. I've never seen them in Florida, that's for sure.
Well,
Let me show you
I've seen
this.
them in a boiled pot.
Check this out, Mick.
Pretty good.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
So, I've heard crawfish are good. You go to Louisiana, get a jumbo, jambalaya, whatever. You put crawfish, great. You were attacked by a crawfish in Florida.
What is Disney really doing?
Have you ever seen things like this?
I know.
Am I just shocked for no reason?
That's a pretty big one. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they're crawling across the parking lot.
Yes, and they're coming right at him.
They stand their ground.
They don't run away. They're not scared of you.
Where do they live?
I don't know, man.
In the retention pond, or
I just didn't know we had crawfish in Florida. That was the first thing that shocked me, and I happened to notice that on your Facebook. It was unbelievable. All
just
right.
catch one and boil it. That's good.
So speaking of crawfish, maybe you've bought a timeshare before. I mean, the only thing more dangerous than a crawfish is you purchasing a timeshare, I think. But then, Mark, it leads me to the question. First of all, how in the world do they keep sucking us in after we hear all the bad reports into this now $9.3 billion industry? How in the world do they keep convincing us that timeshares are a good investment?
Sure. They have these extravagant promotions of freebies and to offset the cost of the money that you'd spend into a hotel and get, let's say no equity or nothing back. So they lure you in with this hope of a great deal.
Yeah, but it just seems like people would get the message after a while. It's like, wait a minute. Talk to Uncle John, and he goes, oh, I had a bad experience with those guys. Don't, stay away from them.
Oh, for sure.
There's just so much of that out there.
And then they offset with, the unhappy customer. They provide more gifts, more freebies.
They just keep luring in.
And just pile it on.
Right. And people finally, just give up and go, oh, okay, let's do it, or they
well,
get
there's
tired
extreme
of fighting
pressure. There's extreme pressure.
Yeah, obviously. Jeez.
So here's how it really works. You go in, you're half drunk, or you're with your family, you're happy because you're on vacation.
Right.
Whether you're drinking or not, you're on vacation, you're like, wow, I want to take a little bit of this vacation home with me, right? I mean, it happens to all of us. It's a normal human reaction when you're on vacation. You want to stay. Or you're like, oh, I'm going to come back. I'm going to take more time from work off next year.
Yeah.
And I'm going to spend more time vacationing, and I'm going to come back right here because I'm having such a good damn time. So that's how they suck you in, I think, because you want to stay. You want to have a little piece of the sand, so to speak. You want to take it back to Ohio or whatever cold weather place that you're from. So they suck you in. You get it. But here's what really happens in actuality. You pay 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever it is you're going to pay up front, right? So you're going to pay to buy this. Sometimes you pay it all in cash, or other times they'll throw a credit card in front of you like, oh, just apply for this credit card here, and you can pay us through that. Or you get a mortgage and you pay them over time. But then also, even if you pay it in full, you're paying $800, $1,200, $1,500 a year in just what kind of fees, Mark?
Maintenance fees and assessments. Yeah.
And what are these paying for?
They're allegedly for the maintenance of the property, but
What, they clean it up after each guest?
This isn't even cleaning fees. This is just total BS fees
you
for
mean
like
there's
membership fees. Membership fees.
Yeah, for like mowing the grass and things. But the problem is, we're not really buying physical units anymore, are we?
No.
We're buying points. So I can understand this concept of, okay, you're going to buy a timeshare. I understand you're going to buy Unit 304 down at the Ocean Dunes in New Smyrna Beach, whatever, and you're buying week 27 of the year. It's the week after Memorial Day every year, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. So every year during that week, you go into the same unit in the same building. That's your timeshare. You just have 51 other buddies who you own it with.
Right.
That's not how it works anymore. It's total opposite of how it works anymore. Now they sell you points. So these maintenance fees for cutting the lawn and keeping up with the lawn and working on the dock, I don't understand this because you're not even owning a place you're not owning a unit. You buy points. What are these points?
And that's one of the worst things, is especially if a timeshare owner's had it for a long time. You have that specific week, that unit, and they convert you into this points package, massive blackout dates, and you've lost a lot of what you would say a value of what you had, because now they don't have to hold that available week for you anymore.
Yeah.
So originally, when you purchased one, you could get that week.
Exactly. You had a week, a unit number. You had whatever lock off.
Were you still free to go somewhere else within the network if there was another place?
For sure, you could. Yeah, and enough ahead of time. Maybe 5 to 6.
But
months
all during
ahead of
that particular week. So in other words, you got a week. This is my week. Wherever I go, this is what I've got.
With availability.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
And now
you buy points, and then you can use the points for what?
I really don't understand.
You could use it.
I don't either. I still don't.
Yeah, you could use it to stay at whatever week of applying resorts. It is a conversion, so Hawaii is a much different rate than Branson, Missouri.
Sure.
So depending on
for obvious reasons.
So depending on where you.
Branson just called. They're pissed off, and they're making a complaint.
It's all right. Go to Bagnell Dam. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Points.
It's unfortunate for a lot of people
And
because
you have
they
a
spend a
deed.
lot of money on these
Do
things.
you have a document that says you own what?
Right. So,
Points?
so this is the thing: is they do present you with a deed on these deeded properties, and they'll even register it within your county clerk's office. And so, with those, it's actually recorded. So you do feel like you have some sort of property,
Well,
and you actually have to pay taxes on it.
Oh, good.
Come to find out, really at the end of the day, it's still a membership. It's still a timeshare membership.
Here's what's going on, Mick. So they've created this point system to make it better for them, not for you. They made these points to make it more confusing. So here's how it works. In reality, you'll go and say, oh, good, I'm going to use my 30,000 points for the year at this location on this week. Ooh, that's too bad because we can't really put you in that property if you only have 30,000 points. But if you upgrade another $5,000, another $7,000,
So it just keeps going up.
now we're going to be across the street, beachside, and you can afford to stay there now, but you're going to have to buy more points into the timeshare. So that's how they get you. They've confused people so much to where you don't even know what you have anymore. You just know you have a bunch of points, and every time you call to use them, they're like, oh, that's too bad. If you had the better membership, you could probably do that, but you need to buy more points to stay at the nicer properties. That's how they've confused people. It was too simple, and it wasn't even simple then. It was too simple for them to say, oh, you own this 1 week at this one resort every year. That became too simple. They had to really mix it up a little bit so they could start separating us easier from our money.
Well, it's more, you have more variety, it sounds like, if you are able to move. Points don't mean you're tied to a property.
Well,
So
they would
theoretically.
bundle. They would bundle. So they would say, you have this week, you need to upgrade so you can go to this property. Let's bundle you together. Let's, put your maintenance fees together. And actually, they just sold you a second or third timeshare. That's a whole nother contract.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 321-339-1055. We're taking your timeshare questions today. My name is Justin Clark. I have Mark Anderson with Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. Phone number, email, website. How do I reach you, Mark?
So you give us a call at 407-362-7859. And on the web, sapphiretimesharecancellation.com.
Free consultations. Mark will always give you a free consultation. So, look, now is the time where they start sending the bills for next year. This is when you start getting that $1,200 bill for nothing, basically.
Yeah.
$800 bill for nothing. Your fingers are crossed that maybe you can actually get some availability on one of these weeks that you can actually travel, or one of these weeks you can actually get the week off. You're just like hoping maybe I can use the timeshare this year. Well, instead of just throwing that money away this year, I think you need to talk to someone like Mark to see if this is the year it might be time to get out of that timeshare. 321-339-1055. So, Mark, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Credit. People care generally about their credit. They don't want to come into my office with a 400 credit score or a 500 credit score, and they're like, well, the only thing that's really on there is a timeshare. How does timeshare affect my credit?
Negatively, for sure. This is an open-ended debt line that, depending on what assessments come through, is an increasing line of credit, really, at the end of the day. So for a debt to income ratio, it does hurt you. For sure. It's a very bad thing. You want to get that off there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of these timeshare cancellation companies will go in and try to negotiate a deal with the timeshare to do a deed in lieu or give it back, right? I want to get this out of my life. We're going to give it back. And sometimes they're successful in that. But, Mark, I don't know any other timeshare company that really focuses on not just that, not just canceling the timeshare, but also working on the credit. What do you guys do to really help my credit through this process?
Sure. In fact, we are probably one of the only exit companies out there in the country that deals with credit at the beginning and not waiting till the end when all the punishment has happened, and then you have another year and a half of repairing credit. So we have a credit and risk management firm called Trade Guardian that is also assisting with us to deal with credit at the beginning, disputing inaccuracies, using different regulatory organizations and all three credit bureaus to get these things out of there, blocked, and removed from your credit as quick as possible. That also helps with the cancellation, piling up the weight and the workload for these resorts to have to deal with.
So it's harder for them.
Oh, absolutely. We do
So
not
you make them. It's like throwing up interference. You're making it harder for them to.
Well, for sure. I mean, a lot of to
get out.
Exit companies, they would just wait for you to really to default at the end of the day, and then you would still have this massive debt bill, a debt collection agency contacting you, and we ensure that we can remove that as quick as possible.
How often do you see the old school timeshare versus the new point system? Do you still see people come in that have the old school timeshare?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
What do you see more of?
We see more of the points. In fact, anyone that has had that old weak deeded property, they're usually calling in because they're upset. Hey, I just had this this diamond resort in Hawaii, and they said they were going to lower my maintenance bills. They gave me a great deal, and they converted all their deeded properties to a points package and just completely screwed them. Really,
and they can do that.
Oh, absolutely. You're signing your life away. For sure. It's really unfortunate, especially when someone's had a timeshare 15, 20 years, bringing their kids there.
You got the good
and now they
deal.
can't even go. They can't even go anymore.
You got the good deal. The where you own it or you have that 1 week. That's a much better deal, isn't it?
In the
It
resorts,
depends on how how much you use it, I guess. But.
for sure. And the resorts want that deed out of your hands.
Of course.
Well, yeah,
for sure.
Of course.
That it was a good idea back in the day. Now to combat Airbnb.
How are they getting away with this?
I guess there's nobody standing up large enough to really combat this. Remember, these are private memberships, so there is no real estate regulatory agency or anything like that saying, "Hey, you're breaking the law," because you're buying into their private organization.
What are typical maintenance fees for the year, and what do they allegedly cover?
I would say $900 to $1,300 is probably your average maintenance fee per contract.
Yeah.
And what they allegedly to cover is your membership fees, basic maintenance within the properties, landscaping, pool fixings, utilities.
But it's not even a property; it's a point. That's what I don't understand.
Well, but do they clean up the place? You say they don't.
Oh well, no. These resorts, they're quite,
part
a
of
lot of
the
them.
deal, I would
A lot
hope.
of them are quite gorgeous. That's the whole magnificent part of it. They bring you to this gorgeous resort, but they're selling those same units to not owners for $199 for the weekend.
Yeah.
I just went on eBay. I was kind of clicking around, and I did some investigation. And I went down there. I saw, look at all these timeshares for $1. I just got off the phone with a guy that had 100,000 diamond points. I tell him, I said, have you looked on eBay? There's 200,000 for $1. And then I look at the user, and I kind of doing some digging. It is a resort that's using eBay accounts and things to sell these things to bring people in.
And nobody, there's no law that could get in the way.
Well, where a lot of these violations happen is that original sale, the predatory lending, the truth in lending, where they're not disclosing, what's transpiring in this deal, because they're selling it as real estate. They're actually giving you a financed agreement.
So you think it's real estate, but it isn't. It's a membership.
That is correct. Yeah.
You're buying points. I'd rather go play Monopoly, honestly.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is risk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, look, you might as well go try to buy a stick of gum with Monopoly money than really think of this as an investment.
Obviously, people don't know this going in. They don't know what's really happening. How do you?
Well, it's interesting because I deal with timeshare owners that owned one. We get them out. And they said, I would never do this again.
Sure.
And 2 months later, they're calling up and they're
They wanna
saying,
get
hey,
another one."
Mark, I did this again. And I said, how did this even happen?
Corona Light.
And they said, well,
It's always Corona Light.
they're giving away a free cruise.
Well, yeah.
And I said, this free cruise the timeshare you just bought is $21,000. The cruise is a Carnival Cruise Line for $499. This doesn't make sense. And Mark, can you help me? And of course we will, and we'll get them out. And
So have you gotten
It's
more
just
than
a
one?
process.
Have you gotten people out of more than one? In
Absolutely.
other words, they come back and say, here's another one. God.
we deal with people that have
That's
5, 6, 7 timeshares.
You should give away free mental evaluations or something at that point.
Once bitten, twice shy. It's the third time that gets you. And that's what happened here.
I used to have a girlfriend who would always say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That was her famous line. I was like, well, first of all, sweetheart, we're at like 30 now, so I'm obviously a bad guy, but...
There's just a lot of shame. There's just a lot of shame.
Yeah, really.
321-339.
I'm just trying to get that picture in my mind.
Pilar, don't get any ideas. That's not your line, kiddo. Don't get any ideas whatsoever.
We love you, Pilar.
Yeah, 321-339-1055. Mark Anderson is here with Sapphire Timeshare cancellation. I mean, the best advice, I think, is don't buy one.
Well, yeah.
And it will affect your credit. It will show up on your credit. They are going to make it seem like an awesome investment, but I have never seen anyone come into my office and tell me, thank goodness I bought that timeshare. Wow, it's changed my life.
You know, my parents almost bought one years and years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And
they did not buy it. No,
right, because they're
no.
smart.
Somebody talked them out of it, but they were ready to go. It sounded real good. Oh, okay.
Briana is here. Hello, Briana.
The lovely Briana. Did she sneak in without me? Oh, my God.
She's
a stealth
So
Briana.
I guess it was probably traffic issues again, huh?
Yeah, probably.
No, was it traffic?
She's quite honest.
Yeah. So what's up?
My bartender didn't give me my tab on time.
Her seriously?
Really? Yeah.
Your bartender did not bring your tab on time.
Now
I was
that
there for like 15 minutes. I'm sorry.
that's a woman after my own heart.
So I couldn't just get up and leave.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
She is an independent contractor.
She is.
So I'm not really her boss. You know what I mean?
Right.
321-339-1055. Plenty more on how to get out from under your timeshare. Or maybe you had family here visiting you and they bought a timeshare and they're like kind of blaming you a little bit. Hey, you know, if I didn't come to visit you, Johnny,
Really?
I wouldn't own this timeshare now. Let's tell them how to get out of their timeshare as well. Plenty more just ahead. Stick around. It's Justin Clark on Florida Man Radio.
You're listening to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
Frogger's Grill and Bar. Hop in with food and fun. Enjoy happy hour Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 and 10 to 2 a.m. Today is Frogger's famous Monday night wing night with 75-cent wings, Bud and Bud Light pitchers for $7. Frogger's is famous for having the freshest wings around. Located in Mount Dora, Oviedo, Apopka, Altamont Springs, and now open in Old Town.
Hey, Central Florida. This is RC Hill from RC Hill Mitsubishi. This week, everybody's talking about my woohoo sale. Down payments just $1. Used cars from just $69 per month. New cars from just $169 per month. Trade-ins will pay $5,000 over appraised value.
But RC, why are you doing all this?
Because I'm excited about life and you should be too. It's my most outrageous sale ever, but only for a limited time. Call or come into RC Hill Mitsubishi today. Get a nicer, newer car for just $1 down and get $5,000 more for your old clunker. Is your credit PU? You'll scream when we approve you. The sale ends this weekend. You gotta see RC at RC Hill Mitsubishi at either of our locations in DeLand or Ocala. Minutes from everywhere or online at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit and $1 down require bank approval. Offers may not combine. Negative equity may be refinanced. Vehicle purchase price affects actual trade allowance.
Did you just receive a bonus, a windfall, or an inheritance, and you're worried about making a huge tax mistake? Will you owe capital gains? Should you be letting money sit in cash? What if you're inheriting IRA accounts? Go to oxygenfinancial.net to get our free guide, 5 money moves to make when you get a windfall. We can help you make smart money decisions, and go to oxygenfinancial.net right now to get our free guide on bonuses, windfalls, and inheritances. Go to oxygenfinancial.net today.
Meet Ingrid, fiery spirit, carrying grandma, proud trucker.
I've logged more than 4 million miles in my truck. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. I was driving outside of Ohio when a gentleman stopped suddenly in front of me. But it takes my 80,000-pound truck 200 yards to stop. I'd given myself extra room, but it's not a chance worth taking.
It's our roads. It's our safety.
Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
This week, it's the Jags on Florida Man Radio.
It's time to ground the Jets. Sam Darnold and the New York Jets visit TIAA Bank Field this Sunday. And Florida Man Radio has all the action. Pre-game at noon, kickoff at 1.
Central Florida's home for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 660 AM, 105.5 FM. Florida Man Radio.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, babe, what do you want to be for Halloween this year?
Well, I was thinking about something like this.
Wow. You went to Premier Couples Superstore, didn't you?
Get your own sexy bedroom costume at Premier Couples Superstore. With the largest selection of lingerie, bachelorette supplies, and novelty items, Premier Couples Superstore has what you want. Shop online at premiercouples.net. 5009 South Orange Blossom Trail, Orlando. Because a couple that plays together stays together.
Premier Couples Superstore takes you where you want to go.
Hi, Nancy at Creative Floors to tell you about the new Pergo Extreme. It's not just a laminate anymore. Creative Floors is introducing the new Pergo Extreme rigid flooring that is a worry-free flooring solution. Pergo Extreme offers 100% kid, pet, and waterproof warranties with beautiful wood and stone patterns to choose from. Take advantage of up to $500 off for a limited time. Please visit us at CreativeFloorsOnline.com for locations where it's worth talking to the experts at Creative Floors.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Call 888 Apple AC.
Apple AC and Heating knows when it comes to choosing an AC, you want reliability. That's why they recommend the Goodman brand. Goodman is one of the only brands that offer lifetime compressor warranty on select systems. If the compressor breaks, they'll replace the compressor for as long as you own your home. Right now, Apple Air is offering 12 months, same as cash financing to qualified customers with the purchase of a Goodman system. Call Apple AC for more details and let us take a slice out of your energy costs.
Call 888 Apple AC.
CMCO 56836.
Now, back to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
321-339-1055. We have some training going on here, it appears to me, Eric. Are we training? What are we doing over there?
I am trying not to mess things up.
Because you were literally just getting trained like a week ago. Now you're training someone else? Is that what's happening?
Well, trained on this new system. I've done the job for a little while.
But this is a pretty quick promotion, I must say. So you were answering calls 2 days ago. Now you're going to be a producer? Is that what's going on here? God, please get on the mic. I need to talk to you for a second.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
Now, I am terrible with names, first of all. Damn it. I forgot your name.
Kenny.
Kenny. I knew it.
Just think of South Park when you think of it.
So, Kenny, you're going to be helping us production-wise? Is that what's going on here?
Yes, sir.
When does that start? When are you starting?
The wheels are in motion. I'm going to be shadowing for the next 3 days.
All right.
And then that's what I've been told so far. But
So
if it's as easy as it seems
So
to be,
is
I
Eric
should be rocking and rolling pretty soon.
Is Eric doing a good job teaching you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
He hasn't said one word to you, honestly.
No,
I've been
he's-
watching him.
no, you
He's
guys-
like, just watch me, dude.
He showed me little things here and there during the break.
That's the
But,
best excuse when you're trying to train someone. You don't feel like training. You're just like, just shadow me. Just watch me.
Yeah, watch what I do.
Yeah, but also being the trainee is kind of rough because I don't want to like ask too many questions or kind of interrupt his flow. So I'm kind of also letting him. Yeah, I kind of jump in during breaks. With the questions.
He's got a hell of a flow. I'm telling you.
All right,
This guy,
so
Eric.
Briana was late today, and I figured that she had some excuse, but she said the bartender was late in bringing the check. Is that true?
Yeah, that's the absolute truth.
Well,
I've
I
never
think
heard.
she's truthful.
But,
No excuse.
That,
Just
Yeah,
the
that's
truth.
actually.
I mean, I would tell you that's BS, but you could come up with something better, so it must be true. But I've never seen
it. It is true.
If you're at a bar at 4:30 or what, 5:30, there's no way it's busy at 5:30 on a Monday. So
okay.
There's no way
a
that
group
happened.
did walk in.
Uh-huh.
It was a group of 9 or 10 gentlemen that did walk in.
They were all drunk.
You know what, Mick? I think they were. I think they walked in already a little bit buzzed because they were extremely loud. Because they definitely messed up my flow. Yeah. And it threw I'm not going to say his name over here, but it threw him off, and he was just, running around back and forth, and they're asking questions about the menu, and he was really preoccupied, but he took my card to run it, and he just set it down, and I'm watching my card less than 4 feet away. Just swipe it.
Were they hairdressers, do you know?
No, they look like attorneys, honestly.
Because the only people that I know that drink on Mondays are hairdressers. Because take it easy.
Drink
because hairdresser people they work on Sundays, so they take Mondays off.
Is that true?
Or maybe service industry people. They they long weekend of bartending.
Sunday night is
that's their night.
Industry.
So who goes to the bar on Monday afternoon?
But you have to also think about I was at Sam Sneed's. That's a certain type of bar.
Yeah, it's
what
not
are you
really
trying
a
to say?
bar. It's an
It's
establishment.
nice. You mean it's nice?
See, it's not Applebee's.
Take it easy.
Well,
Applebee's was pretty good.
Do you work? Are you on their payroll? Are you offended by Applebee's?
321-339-1055. Welcome to the show, Briana. It's good to have you here. Don't worry, I got all the digital stuff set up myself
In
again.
case you're wondering, Justin is on a roll tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Mark Anderson joins me today. He is the GM over at Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. They get you out from under that biggest financial mistake that you made, which was purchasing a timeshare. But you need to be very, very careful because a lot of people will tell you they can do this, but they do not care because they're going to say, oh, we won. We got the job done. But they don't care about your credit. They don't care about the fact that it's showing up negatively on your credit. When you go to buy a house or go to buy a car, you're not going to qualify because while, yes, you don't have to keep paying on the timeshare, it still negatively affected your credit. Mark, what do you guys do to make sure not only I get rid of this timeshare, but to make sure that my credit is going to be not negatively impacted anymore?
Sure. So, as you come on board with us, there's things that we do to identify if it's going to affect you negatively, as in such as looking at your credit, see if the account is on there, any documentation from any collection agencies, financial bureaus, or the internal financial departments of the timeshare. And so we can target those accounts, dispute them, block them, whatever we need to do to make sure that it doesn't affect them throughout this process.
Sometimes the credit bureaus, though, are kind of slow in updating, aren't they?
This is a fast track. The way we do it, we submit them directly through them via mail. We also fax them. With that being said, that the style and the type of claim that we're doing has results very fast.
Good.
A lot of these transactions that people buy in timeshares, they're forced to open up credit cards. They don't even know half the time that there's one there. So there's a lot of underlying fraud
on the credit.
Yeah, there's a lot of underlying fraud, identity theft. There's things that happen, and the credit bureaus take a lot of that very seriously. So those are like the first agenda, TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, that they take, and that's a 4-day sometimes turnaround in a lot of cases.
I'll let Mark better explain this, but here's my understanding. So back in the day, timeshare companies, you would go in there, you would say, okay, I'm going to give you $30,000. Say, okay, but don't worry, you only have to put down $5,000 today, and then you pay us the other $25,000 over the next 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is. What happened is a lot of people then were trying to get out of their timeshare, and the bank didn't have, or the timeshare company didn't have as much leverage because they were still owed so much money. So then they got smart. And what do? They
start putting it on credit cards.
They started doing deals with credit card companies, probably getting kickback. I don't know. I'm not accusing them of criminal activity or whatever, but they set up whatever kind of deals with these credit card companies, and they would have them literally standing by right there as they go to buy the timeshare. So now the timeshare company's getting paid in full because it's on a credit card. So at that point, they're like, well, whatever, you paid us, dude. We don't really care. Yep. And now you're stuck dealing with a big credit card tab and that interest as well.
Oh, yeah. And now you're dealing with a large financial firm, Commodity Bank, Barclays, Chase. And, and then just think the salesperson usually has some affiliate marketing. So as you opened up that credit card, they're taking commissions from all angles, and you still have to pay these big interests and you're stuck with this massive credit card bill.
Yeah. Are you seeing like the same credit card companies pop up over and over, or is it just everybody?
Barclays.
Is that why?
Barclays
That's
is
the one.
the leading charge.
Really?
In this 500.
And then you're not going to get a deal on an interest rate on those. Right?
Oh no, they're definitely not. They're definitely. They give you frequent flyer miles back to the resort.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a deal. Let's do that.
Man.
The conversion's horrible.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Would you?
321-339-1055. So when they go in there, and let's just say that the timeshare cost $30,000.
Sure.
How does the percentages normally work? How much am I normally putting down? How much am I normally putting on a credit card? How much am I normally holding on a mortgage? And I know it all varies, but what's sort of average?
Sure. So they'll offset the interest rate by your deposit, just as a lot of financed agreements. So they maybe start out at 23 to 26% interest.
What?
And they're saying, hey, $1,000 down. And as you increase your deposit, your interest goes down. And I've very rarely seen it below 15%. And on a $30,000 mortgage, you're probably putting close to 10 to 15% down.
Jeez.
But the thing is then they say, hey, if you open up this credit card, your interest rate's going to be better on the credit card. We'll do and you'll be paying it off, and you'll have no interest with us, and you'll get some reward points or something. So instead, you front load them with a credit card, and you just paid off your timeshare.
Can you keep the credit card after you've paid the thing off?
Well, sure. It's
So it's a regular credit card.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's not a
It's
special deal where you can only use it for. See, I financed my windows replacement at home, and it was similar to a credit card, but I didn't have a physical card, and it only was good for the windows. Once that was paid off, it's good. It's done.
Yeah,
And I don't
not
have it
these.
anymore.
These guys just bring in credit card companies, straight up credit card companies to pay for these things.
They had PayPal was in the timeshare game for a little while, and Wyndham was using them.
Yeah.
And PayPal ended up kicking them out of the circuit because of what they were doing. They were using PayPal accounts and saying that they were financing people.
Who are the biggies here in town? That's timeshare biggies.
Oh, you have Westgate, you have Diamond, you have Hilton, you Wyndham. I mean, they're all.
What is this?
This
Orange?
is the headquarters.
I hear about Orange Lake a lot. What is that one?
The Holiday Inn.
And that's Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
God, really?
Yeah.
So there's all the. How many? Well, you just listed 5 or 6 right there
well,
off the top of your
this
head.
is Orlando. This is the Baghdad of timeshares.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
You have to wear a flak jacket outside your.
Really?
Yeah.
Baghdad just called again too.
Right.
They're not very happy
Gotta
with us.
send more troops in. I'm sorry.
Baghdad is pissed that you're comparing them to a timeshare company.
I parked in the garage, so I'm safe.
You're under roof.
How does this negotiation normally work? All right, so I'm here visiting Orlando. I'm having 3 or 4 Corona Lights, and I've promised to take this tour because they gave me free tickets to the Blue Man Group. There's
a bargain.
Which, first of all, I would do the tour to not go to the Blue Man Group myself. What's that?
That's how they get you. It's like
I
the
know.
dumbest tickets.
Yeah.
Like it's tickets to like the medieval times, and
Yeah, there
people
you
will
go.
sell out for a family
It's all
5-pack of.
booths. It's all those booths on iDrive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And these things are open 24 hours a day in some cases. I've gone by and
So
You're trying to shop at the outlets, and they're luring you in with free tickets to something you can just pay the $25 and go.
They catch the drunks coming out of the bars.
that international travelers.
Yeah.
That's another big one.
With a large family.
So anyway, I got the free tickets. Now I'm doing the tour, the sales pitch, whatever it is. And finally, I'm like, you know what? That sounds pretty good. I'm having a good time. I'm half drunk. I'm going to really buy this timeshare. So they come in and say, here's the contract. It'll be $30,000. How much negotiation do I have there as the buyer? I mean, is $30,000 is $30,000, or could I probably get it for $7 if I really negotiate with them?
Yeah, I mean, you can have it lowered dramatically. It's just the push that you're going to have to do. Now, they're going to tag team you and double up and bring
Just like
in
a car dealer.
Oh, I mean, I'd rather go to a car dealership all day long.
Really?
A used car dealer.
Absolutely. Hank, he'll be treating you much better than these timeshare resorts. So they apply the pressure, you push back, and as they just finagle the numbers all the way down to where it allegedly will fit in your budget. But at the end of the day, a timeshare never fits in your budget because there is no value to it. There is no equity in something.
And all right, so the salesperson there. So let's say that the rack rate is $30,000 for this timeshare, or these dumb points, whatever we're selling.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they really have the authority to go down to without even having to talk to their boss?
Probably about $9,000 or $10,000 is when you'd see it. 30. I think Westgate's at about $10,000. They can probably go down to.
From
30.
They can. I mean, these salespeople can go. They can start off at any price they want.
Really? So 30, you could actually somebody actually get you down to 10.
Yeah, if you go online, you can get it for $1.
Well, yeah, I know.
So
why don't they then?
But yes,
what kind of deal would that
the
be?
salesperson has to stick within a guideline for maintenance fees. Those are already standard and put in the back. But the original sales price, they have a bottom line depending on what tier line they are at the resort. The front line, are they in the back? Are they calling? And so 10,000 is what I see is to be like the average bottom dollar for a lot of the timeshares here, like in Orlando.
And of course, look, that initial number is what you see. But let's make no mistake, we're never getting that back anyway. Whether you try to resell it or whatever, that money is gone. It has disappeared. The real issue that you're dealing with now, once you're already involved in this scam, is the yearly maintenance fee. So you're paying the $800, $1,200, $1,500 a month for what? For some points that you probably can't even figure out how to use. And that's what people are trying to get out from under, right, Mark?
For sure. I mean, you've invested a lot of money to get this. Say now you own it outright, and now the bleeding is happening. You're paying a $1,200 to a $2,000 maintenance fee per year biannually. You need to stop the bleeding really at the end of the day.
And then when you're working with someone, getting them out from under this debt, I mean, there's not much you can do with the credit cards, though. I mean, they are what they are. They're credit cards, right?
That's third party.
Yeah.
And most of the time, depending on how early it is. You purchased this 2-3 years ago, then you're kind of in a predicament. You just purchased this in the last 90, 120 days, then maybe we have some leeway here.
So you can get them out of the credit card.
No, not always. We don't in our service. We don't guarantee that by any means. Only the timeshare contract, but we have ways that they can dispute, and definitely how the transaction happened. They have some laws in their favor. The Consumer Credit Protection Act is in their favor.
I have a question. Sorry. Some people reached out to us on social media with a little bit of questions about timeshares. And Jacob said that somebody wants to gift him a timeshare. They want to just give it to him flat out. He wants to know, is that a good idea? Should he take it or not?
Well, if he accepts the timeshare, he'll also be accepting this lifelong maintenance fee. So there's going to be a transfer. He'll go into the resort. They're going to have him sign paperwork. He'll then basically lock himself down into a maintenance fee for the rest of his life.
But the unit's already paid for.
It'll have to be. It can't be mortgaged.
So maintenance would be it. What about special assessments? Can they come back on? Let's say the building needs some repairs.
For sure.
Can they come back and do that?
Absolutely.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't love it. It's really, and especially now that they've gone to this point system. I could even understand when, you've got the same week every year at the same property. Okay, fine. You can kind of figure out in your head, well, I'm paying $900 a year for this 1 week. Okay, fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not great. It's not the way I would travel. But now at these points, you don't know what you have. You don't know what you're getting. And they're constantly trying to upsell you and make you feel like, you don't have enough points. You got to buy more. It's terrible. When you go to Airbnb.com right now, and I guarantee you can buy a week at that same property somehow for less than you're paying for the stupid the HOA fees or the yearly fees, which are about to come out right now.
Sure. And even timeshares are similar to like cell phones. You have to continually upgrade to stay relevant in their travel packages. So with these memberships, you just bought 20,000 points this year, and you're going on to these these vacations, and all of a sudden 2 to 3 years later, now your points don't qualify for much. You have to buy another 4,000 or 5,000 points.
It'd be interesting to get the timeshare owners in here.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
think they would ever come
one of these days we should bring a client of yours in, and let's hear about that experience. That's pretty good.
I can arrange that.
No, but better yet, give Westgate a chance to answer.
Oh, you want them to answer back?
The actual resort.
I don't think that's going to go very well.
That sounds
No, I mean,
terrible.
if they were legit, they would do that.
Go ahead, Kenny.
I was going to say, if you bring in the resorts, they would probably, it would be interesting to hear what their defense is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're
not.
I'm sure
Trust
they
me.
would hear this and
They
want
are.
to defend themselves.
Do it.
To some degree.
There's no way that they're going to come in here.
Well,
and by the way, first, rule number one we're going to teach them is if it's radio.
So he's gonna talk into the microphone. You see?
Yeah, that's the biggest point. Is you have to be actually talking into the microphone.
You just haven't gotten there yet, huh?
Yeah,
Into the mic.
step one it was the board stuff, and then you got step
Kenny,
2 is learning to actually talk into the microphone.
Don't listen to him. Don't.
I
listen
told
to
you
him.
Eric is not a very good trainer. He's just like, just follow me. I'm annoyed. Just follow me around.
Bye, Kenny.
No, Kenny, you're doing a fantastic job, pal. 321-339-1055, telling you how to get out from under your timeshares. Mark Anderson is here. Sapphire, timeshare cancellation. Mark, I need your phone number, website, free consultations, please. These bills are coming out right now. They're going to be due again in January. Before you make yet another payment for these dumb points that you don't use, go talk to someone like Mark, please, before you do this again.
Yes, please give us a call. 407-362-7859. Also, you can visit us on the web at sapphiretimesharecancellation.com.
Are these resorts, for the most part, just timeshares, or can I find these same rooms on an Airbnb, or are they also hotels? Can I find them on Expedia, or are they just for the timeshare owners?
No, you can find them on Groupon. You can find them all over the place. Facebook, Craigslist. In fact, there is, there's a Wyndham site that you can go to Bonnet Creek and some other places, Vegas, and it'll be a $149 special for the weekend. And it is very frustrating for these timeshare owners knowing they just bought a $15,000 to $20,000 timeshare, and they go sit at the bar, and then they look right next to the people, and they're there on a $199 vacation.
Yeah.
That's how they got there in the first place, was this discounted vacation.
Well, yeah.
You can go every year for $199.
So when you're working with someone and they're hiring you to get out from under their timeshare, to cancel their timeshare.
Sure.
What is the one thing you sometimes hear, though, when they say, I am going to miss blank? I am going to miss what? What is like the one thing, well, I do want to get out from under it, but I will miss this.
Is there
anything? Maybe
in other
there's
words,
nothing.
Is there anything good about it?
One thing that we do here is, to have that ability to, let's say, go on that vacation. It's like locked in where they can go.
Yeah.
But usually what they love to miss is the maintenance fees won't be there anymore. The mortgage payments, the headaches, because you can book these same vacations on Airbnb, VRBO, Expedia, and that is pretty much where you're going to go to get those types of vacations.
Yeah.
The same resort, the same thing you just bought, except you're not locked in for the rest of your life.
Yeah, really.
And then and when you do pass away, you don't have to pass it on to your kids in probate.
Is it, do you find that now that we've switched more to the point system as opposed to you have that unit on 1 week a year system, have you found that these points are good for the same week every year, or is it just totally vary now?
No, it varies.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of times people will bank them into other organizations to get conversions for flights and things, and just the conversion rate is just horrible. I just had a pair of folks that, they spend about $1,500 a year in maintenance fees for their package of points, and when they converted it to go to 2 international trips to the UK, it only got them 1. For tickets that they had, they had 2-3 years of $1,500 of maintenance fees banked and still couldn't get enough to travel together to the UK. They actually had to use their credit card.
You know what I have found in this whole world of, we reward our greatest shopper. Where literally you could bring your set of keys would have 37 different things on it. One for Publix, one for Food Lion, one for Kroger, one for this. What I have found is all of this is somewhat nonsense. It really is. Like the whole, I'm only going to fly Delta because I'm going to use my points. And, if you fly a lot, fine. Or I'm only staying in Marriott. Well, if you're only traveling 3-4 times a year, I think this is all totally worthless. I think if you're not traveling for business all of the time, all of this other stuff is crap. And timeshares, to me, are more of an absolute nightmare than it's worth. You're going to spend a week and a half just trying to figure out what week you can travel. Yep. You're going to spend a week and a half just trying to figure out what unit you can use, what resort you can go to. And then when they say, you don't have enough points, they're going to ask you for more money yet again. It's just a waste of time. Why in the world would we not just use Airbnb or just stay in a hotel? Now, look, hotels I got issues with too. You know that, Mick. I have issues with these hotels and the resort fees that we have here. Where if you're going to go stay in Las Vegas, out of the 69,000 hotel rooms that they have on the Strip in Las Vegas, there is not one single room that's not going to rip you off with the resort fees. But Airbnb? I mean, you cannot ever convince me Airbnb is not better than buying a timeshare, Mark.
Correct.
Play devil's advocate. What is better about a timeshare than Airbnb?
I guess you could have a consistent stay on where you're going to go.
Yeah.
You do have amenities, I guess, that you would get at a timeshare resort that you may not get at an Airbnb. The difference is
that's the best you got.
Yeah, pretty much
like a pool.
Wow.
That's the difference with Airbnb is I can still Airbnb. There's still some of those types of resorts and still some of those places that are on there.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You still do it,
and so you have even the resort putting ads up there for that stuff. So I mean, really.
So
Kenny has a question. Fire.
Got the mic. Right here, ready to go, baby.
You're in training, EC.
I'm learning,
good
baby.
Good
I'm
job,
learning.
buddy. All right.
So just a quick story about Airbnb. So when I was at Full Sail, so I came down from New York and I was looking up apartments and I found this apartment and the guy's like, yeah. So what I do is I rent out. He has a condo and he said I rent out the room on Airbnb.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll put the ad on sleep mode, and I paid him rent for a year. We had an oral agreement. I paid him his rent, and when I graduated, I moved out, and he put the listing back up on Airbnb, and he keeps.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
so he
that
liked
works.
you so much as a tenant that he said, "Okay, we'll do a
no,
year."
is because Kenny was paying cash.
Oh, okay.
Straight cold hard student loan cash. That's that student loan Full Sail cash, man. So in the end, that's still.
Yeah, we'll do a show on Full Sail one of these days too.
Yep. And then we'll talk about student debt.
Oh, we talk about student loan debt quite a bit.
Go.
I just, for some reason, I feel like Full Sail is that one school that I can't bash because I don't know why. I just feel like I shouldn't, but I want to.
They're kind of big.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it started in a strip mall out on the east side, and now it just got. Now it's
amazing.
For somehow they've sort
They
of
got the whole block.
They've sort of created this deal where they are better than the regular for-profit school, but they're still like, kids are coming out with $100,000, and I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, big time.
So I don't know.
They do have an excellent program.
All right, this year your bills for your timeshare are coming back, or again, your mom who came to visit, who bought one, who's still up in Ohio, you need to tell her, instead of just stroking that check like we've done every year for basically nothing, please call my boy Mark Anderson with Sapphire Timeshare cancellation phone number
407-362-7859.
He will not charge you one single penny. I promise you to call him and see what you can do to get out from under that timeshare. We'll be right back to wrap up a Monday. Justin Clark, Florida
You're
Man.
listening to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
Is there anything more annoying than car repairs? And the cost is ridiculous. Well, if you own some tools and aren't afraid of using a little elbow grease, you need to go to Budget You Pull It. Budget You Pull It can save you up to 80% in auto repair expense. They've got parts from bumper to bumper and everything in between. Fenders, motors, transmissions, batteries. You need it, you pull it. Got a junk car that you're trying to unload? Budget You Pull It also pays top dollar for junkers. You pull it, you save. BudgetYouPullIt.com.
Premium cigars, badass bikes, live music, and spirits. Florida Man Radio presents the inaugural Stogies and Cycles. Saturday, November 16th at the all-new Bellicoso Cigars and Cafe in the Mills 50 District. Hosted by Florida Man Radio's Shannon Burke, Bubba the Love Sponge, Scott Ledger, and Justin Clark. Don't miss this exclusive night out. Stogies and Cycles at Bellicoso Cigars and Cafe in the Mills 50 District. Stanley Steamer VIP packages and elite tickets are extremely limited. Purchase yours today before they're gone. FloridaManRadio.com.
There's a chance your local Geico agent owns the same designer dog breed as you.
Wait, you own a Chihuahua too?
Half Bulldog, half Chihuahua, 100% lovable?
Oh yeah.
So many wrinkles, such a tiny face.
But there's a better chance your local Geico agent could help you out with auto, homeowners, renters, or condo insurance. Motorcycle, boat, or RV insurance too. They'll work hard to provide sound advice and significant savings. You don't need a chic, wrinkle-faced pup to do that. Local Geico agents. Call or visit yours today.
An interesting creature inhabits the flat, arid plains of many an automobile dashboard, the bobblehead. It's most agreeable and will nod along to anything, despite having no brain function. But when the bobblehead hears how Geico not only saves people money, but also gives them access to licensed agents 24/7 online and over the phone, he'll nod even more vigorously because he knows you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. Easy, bobblehead, easy. You're going to get whiplash.
It's the minivan sales event at Drivers Mart in Winter Park in Sanford. Come and browse our selection of over 700 SUVs, trucks, and sedans in stock from all manufacturers. And for a limited time, experience big savings with $1,200 off all minivans. That's $1,200 off any minivan of your choice, but only during the minivan sales event. Every vehicle is clearly marked with our lowest, best price up front. No haggling needed. We also provide easy financing no matter your history. We make car buying simple, and to make sure you're 100% satisfied with your purchase. Every vehicle we sell comes with a 5-day, 300-mile money-back guarantee. If you're unhappy for any reason, just bring it back, no questions. We want to see you in a vehicle you'll love. So head on over to the Drivers Mart minivan sales event at Drivers Mart in Winter Park, located on 436, just north of Aloma, or stop by our Sanford location next to Audi North Orlando. Visit us online at driversmartusa.com today. Drivers Mart, pre-owned, plain and simple.
Are you a business owner? First of all, thanks for listening. Hey, so if you want to find new customers, we can help on Orlando's newest radio station, WDYZ, Florida Man Radio, 105.5 and 660. Your ad could be featured right here in the morning with Bubba the Love Sponge, key placement middays in Dangerous Conversation with Ledge, or in prime PM Drive during the Shannon Burke Show. We can create a custom campaign based on your goals and budget. Drive store traffic, engage new clients, develop more leads, boost website activation, and get your cash register to ring with new business. Radio gets results, and JVC Broadcasting is at the ready to help you take your business to the next level. For more information on increasing your success, visit our website at floridamanradio.com and click on the Advertise tab. Drive store traffic, engage new clients, develop more leads, boost website activation, and get your cash register to ring with new business. Let us help you grow your business.
Reach out today. Unfiltered, unafraid. FloridaManRadio.com. Click on the Advertise tab. Do it now.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No!
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza, wings, sides, and desserts are all waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Order online at pizzahut.com for a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. Join Hut Rewards and start earning today.
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
This is Johnny Leone. And Don Kuhn here with Seminole Power Sports. October is here, and that means Biketoberfest and Halloween. Time to get that motorcycle you have been dreaming about. Trick or treat yourself to a new Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, or Can-Am. Also a wide variety of pre-owned Harley-Davidsons. It's scary the deals you can get on leftover motorcycles, ATVs, and watercraft. Stop hiding under your bed and get to Seminole Power Sports today. Don't forget to come see us at Horsepower Ranch on October 26th and 27th for a great family event with some awesome surprises from Seminole Power Sports, your #1 in fast fun.
Now, back to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
I'm looking at your reviews here on Sapphire Cancellation, or Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation.com. All 5 stars. Now, in your industry, pretty damn impressive, Mark, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's the issue. People go buy a timeshare, Mick. They get ripped off buying the timeshare. Then they go hire and pay up front for someone to sell it to someone else, can't sell it. And then they go hire someone to cancel it and get ripped off that way too. I mean, this is the one company I know you can trust to get rid of your timeshare. That is Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation.
Thank you.
407-362-7859. Is that right?
That is correct, yeah.
It's always weird. You say your own number all day long, and then you get on the radio, you forget it.
Yeah, that's why I have my piece of paper.
Oh, you brought your own phone number?
Yeah.
Excellent. Give Mark Anderson a call. He'll be here with us every couple of weeks to tell you how to get out from under these timeshares. Mark, excellent job today, buddy. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you folks have questions, just give us a call. Go on our, go to our Facebook. We have a chat right on our website that you don't have to enter in, much of your personal information. You go there and ask questions. If you're still in rescission periods, give us a call, chat to us, because we're here to help you at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you, sir. Briana, thanks for showing up today. We'll send our complaints to Sam Sneed for being a little belated on your tab. Kenny, good job, pal. You
Thank
learning
you,
a
man.
lot or what?
Yes, sir.
Did you learn more tonight than you did in 3 years at Full Sail?
Yeah, this is the best way to do it, man. Hands on, baby.
EC, good job today, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, tune back in tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to 10 for Bubba the Love Sponge Ledge. With Mick Dolan joins you on Dangerous Conversations from 10 until 2. My boy Shannon Burke follows him from 2 to 6. And Mick Dolan, I don't know much, but I do know one little thing.
What's that?
I will see you right back here again tomorrow night, 6 p.m. on Florida Man Radio.
I know this for sure. I'm walking out that door. But I've been in town, but just now.
I'm News 6 anchor Lisa Bell. Here are your headlines from Monday evening. 3 people are facing charges after 3 children were found living in an Edgewater home with 200